Morning. Welcome to your daily dose of real crop life. Put it on the news feed that I think I understand what game everybody's playing. We used to call it the biggest lie. I don't know what they called it in your area, but in my area, because I'm Gen X, in case some of you don't know that, my area, we used to play a little game called Who Can Tell the Biggest Lie and Get the Most to Believe It? We called it Liar Liar. Like in middle school, we actually had half the school believing that the assistant principal was actually named something that he wasn't named. And it actually became his nickname. I wish I could take credit for it, but it was actually a buddy of mine that came up with it. And still to this day, when he's referenced, it's his nickname that comes up, not his real name. So I think that's where we're at in this society. It's like, everybody wants to blame this guy and that flag, that's hate speech, and this is fascism, and this is offending, and that's oppressive, and it's just getting freaking ridiculous. And what worries me the most is this, I'm like everybody else. When you're sitting on the toilet doing your morning, afternoon, or evening constitutional, you go down the rabbit hole. You throw on your Facebook, your Instagram, or whatever social app you use, and you start looking at reels and you pop it through, and it seems that a bunch of street interviews seem to be catching live. I mean, it goes from asking girls sexual questions to what flavor you savor. I mean, they do all kinds of crap, but this is, and everybody can do whatever they want to do. I'm not here to judge or tell you what you need to do. I try to find my own path, and if you ask me what my opinion is, I'll give it to you, but in no way is my opinion the standard. It's just what works for me. Full disclaimer there. So it's unfortunate that we have to do that nowadays, but whatever. The ones that scare me the most, the street interviews, is when whoever the interviewer is, I see a lot of girls doing it, a lot of guys, and it's amazing some of the most basic questions that people out there can't answer, and some of them are trick questions, like, what country is in North America? Well, it's blatantly obvious. There's 3 in North America, the continent, which would be Mexico, United States, and Canada. So you could pick 3 and you would be right. And the one in street interview, like 6 people couldn't freaking answer it. And then here's what scares me the most. I can't remember the street interviewer, but he's done a bunch of stuff, and he actually does good stuff. I wish I could remember his name so I could give him a shout out, because he has great content, scary content, because people don't know this. Like, here's the one question he asked. Where did we earn our independence from? Simple question, right? You would think that 10 out of 10 people would get that, Out of the 3 people or 4 people in that quick little minute video, one said North America, another said Israel, I don't know where the hell that came from, and then the other said Russia. So it's like everybody is up in arms about, some of the stuff that this political administration is doing, like dismantling the Department of Education. Okay, well, look at that view and tell me that's not a good thing. Because what the hell are they doing if people cannot answer who the United States of America gained their independence from? If they can't answer that, then the Department of Education is not doing their damn job. That should be right up there with when did the Pilgrims land? Stuff like that. And, America has a colored past. The evils of the mortal man are blatant through our history. A lot of indigenous people are speaking up and stating what their elders have told them. And I'm not defending anybody's point of view. I'm just saying, I'm sure there was hellacious shit. If you ever watch a little movie called Dances with Wolves, if a quarter of what that story is told is true, I am ashamed of some of the people that made those decisions. That shows you how ignorant we were as a society. Most of the Native Americans or Native Indians had already pretty well conquered this world. And yeah, they had some turmoil because you're always going to have war. There's different tribes that had different ideas and all that. But in my opinion, that is what makes this world great, is that there is so many choices as far as religion, as far as culture, as far as foods. I mean, it's just so diverse. And to me, that's a wonderful thing. Now, I don't understand why some people come to this country and want to bring the bull snot that they left here because they think they can put a twist on it, or I really don't know. I just don't know. I mean, you got these, Dearborn Heights, Michigan is all the rage right now because you got this Muslim mayor telling a white Christian to get out of the city, that he'd throw a parade. Now, isn't that showing that you can't coexist? What that mayor said? That's what I think. I personally do not like the Muslim religion. What I know of it, and I don't claim to know everything about it, it seems like a very selfish, one-sided religion. It has some points in it that I just don't agree with. Child marriage. No. Maybe that's because I have children. No. You're not marrying my child. Not unless you can outrun a bullet, or a bullet bounces off of you. They seem to have a very low opinion of women. They seem to be property, not individuals. Hell, they just started letting women drive over in one of those Middle Eastern countries, and I don't proclaim to know everything about there. I'm not an expert. I'm just saying, in my little corner of this marble, I don't have any faith in the Muslim religion. I find it toxic. And I find it funny that you come to this country to get all of the rewards that you can have in this country, yet push your way of life. So my question to those people that do that, are you immigrating to the United States of America, or are you coming over to take over the United States of America? Because based on what I'm seeing, it seems like you're trying to take over. And don't get me wrong, I'm giving you some credit. If you go around to the small, what used to be mom and pop gas stations, you will find, if you ask a couple questions about the ownership of it, you will find that probably, I don't have anything back in these numbers, full disclosure. Just a little bit of research I did. I found it to be 8 out of 10. The owners were of Middle Eastern descent. And out of those 8, I only found 1 that was born in this country. So how do you take over a country? Well, for one, start taking over its resources that the citizens need to survive. Do you not think that fuel is not one of those? Just a little thought. And some of them individuals are coming over here and that's what they do. They buy a small business from someone and then they start chasing the American dream. I have met a few of those. They're few and far between with my experience. Yours may be different. Let me know in the comments. But to me, it seems like we're already behind because this is what I believe the rest of the world sees America as. It seems like they have a couple different views. One is they view all Americans as racist, ignorant, backwoods fucking hillbillies. And in my neck of woods, there are some. But you want to know what? The ones that society considers backward hillbillies, I tell you what, you make a deal with them guys or gals, they do it. They do the deal exactly the way it's agreed upon and they don't deviate. Their word is their bond. And that's all you can ask out of someone. In my opinion, there's only 2 things you can ask out of someone. Give me the truth and give me your best effort. The other view that people seem to have is that Americans are lazy and greedy. And boy, I think that one has to resonate. I think we gotta kind of accept that because that's mostly what I see is lazy and greedy. You know, because everybody's worried about what's in it for me. What's in it for me? You know, we're still a very young country. Yeah, we've got a lot of immigrants that come from older families, you know, and blah, blah, blah. I'm not here to debate your heritage. But we're still young. And you know what happens with youth? Think back when you were in your teenage years. You thought you had it figured out. Now have a conversation with yourself 20 years later. You'll know you didn't have it figured out like most of us do. You know, it's unfortunately we're losing a battle that most of America doesn't see that we're in. In my humble opinion, the American way of life is under attack from Muslims, Somalians, cartels, and none of them have the true interest of America in their thought process, which is my version of America is just give me a chance and I will take that opportunity and do the best that I can with it. And that's pretty much what most of the quality people that founded this country and built this country had in mind. You know, seems like lately, and then when I say lately, I mean the past 20, 30 years, every advancement in technology has taken us 2 steps backward as a society. You got people saying just horrible, horrible things about a human. Because keep in mind, take the political beliefs out. He was a human. He was shot, murdered, in front of a massive crowd, wife and children, over words. How can you sit there and think that we're a civilized society when that kind of stuff is going on? I cannot. I cannot say that. I cannot say right now that we are living in a civilized society. I think we are living in a chaotic society right now, where everybody wants to believe the bad in somebody. Nobody wants to see the good in people. And I think that's where we've fallen. And if we aren't careful, we won't have the opportunity. We'll have people telling us what has to be done. So with that, I bid you farewell. Have a great day. And as always, comments are open. Let me know what you think. Have a great day.